What's up,
Well,
Alex?
what's going on, Dirk? How are you today?
You know, I'm tired, but it's a Sunday, so it's okay. Just another
Second.
day. Really, just another day. How about you?
Everything's good on my end. I'm glad to be here, hanging out with you once again. Went to church this morning. Got some stuff done around the house, and took an hour nap, and then here I am.
I should have thought about the nap thing. That would have been nice, but I didn't think that far ahead. I'm in the process of moving, bought a house. I think I've talked about that. And so, yeah, I'm going to be here for about another month ish, 40 days maybe. But I'm moving, a few boxes, over every day. I tend to take one carload over a day.
Nice.
Plus, I'm doing some work on the house, some electrical stuff, and just some stuff. So I'm a little tired.
I feel you.
So, anyway, we have a guest today that was going to be a guest before, but he's really here today, Mr. Bobby Legs. So, let's bring him on. Bobby Legs, the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, I don't know about all that, but I'm here. I'm here.
I'm gonna have
I
to
exist.
try that strategy if I'm ever asked to be on somebody's thing. Build that anticipation. Say, yep, I'm there, and then can't make it next time.
It's fashionably late.
It's fashionably late, and it kind of builds the hype.
Yeah, no, I deserve all that I get tonight from you guys. but no, you guys are cool. You understood. I mean, things do happen, especially around this time. I have a 6 and a 4-year-old, and this is the witching hour. This is the time we try to get them to bed. And my son, he's 6, and he's feeling himself these days, man. The last few months, he's feeling it. You know what I mean? So he's giving us a hard time about things, And so it's like reasoning with an adult who doesn't understand how to deal with their emotions yet because they're sex, but he's like a real person,
right?
So it's tough.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Kids, life happens. We're not super, we're just chill here.
Yeah,
life happens. We've had to reschedule the whole episode before because life and travel and stuff like that. So
I mean, you can see with the easy bake oven I got here in my office, my Bobby Lake Studios. So when I want a snack, I go over here. I work here, right? I work from home and I do my streams here. This is it's a shared space. That's the way I look at it. It's a shared space with my kids.
I absolutely hear you. I'm fortunate. My kids are out of the house and grown, thank God. And so I live alone. So I have my 2-bedroom house that I'm in today. And my new house is also 2 bedrooms. Sadly, it's not 3, but I will have my own studio there. I also work from home. So this is where I work and where I stream and all of that. So
actually, right over this way, I got a bunch of toys, and I got some squishy pops is what they're called, and some Care Bears and all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
That's why this exists. It locks the kids stuff away from the kids, Or
you know what? I need one of those because they're just like all over there and everywhere. And I don't know why I haven't thought of like getting something where I can lock away things. But I have a barn right at my property, so that's like 200 feet away. So that's kind of where I keep. They're too scared to go there for now. So that's where I keep other things.
Just show them that movie. What's that scary movie with the Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah,
they stay away from the barn.
Well, Alex, I mean, and Dirk, I don't know if you guys have this. Dirk, I know you're in California. Alex, I don't know exactly sure where you're at. Los Angeles. So we have like an invasive species of insect here. They're called they're a form of cricket, right? And and they why is it cave crickets? And I think they're from Southeast Asia, and they like darkness, and they grow, and they're like this big, right? They're completely harmless, but they're blind. So when you startle them, they jump, and typically they'll jump at you, right? They don't know where they're jumping. So it's just really, really, they're scared of them. I'm kind of sort of scared of them. So there's a part of the barn where it has it. The other part of
I'm
the
not
barn.
coming to visit.
Well,
I'm good.
you throw a couple of dehumidifiers in there. They really like the moisture. If you put a dehumidifier in there, they tend to stay away from those spots. But they're
No.
there. They're there, and they're the size of jumbo shrimp over there in the barn.
No,
So
time to burn the barn down and done. Nope. Burn that thing to the ground.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby Legs mostly talks about watches because his channel is Bobby Legs Loves Watches. As I will love watches.
I love
as
watches.
Alex loves watches. But Bobby also has some knives because early on in my channel, he used to send them and whatnot. And so that was really fun. So what is it that you are carrying today,
Yeah,
Mr. Legs? And what do you normally carry?
So I have a couple of Benchmade. I mean, I like this Andrew Demko, the 20.5. Now it's it's got it's nothing crazy blade wise. I think it just looks cool, and it's really great to fidget around. I have some spider coats. At one point, Dirk, I had about like 25 knives. Now I know that's not a lot by knife collector standards, but I started getting crazy about them because I got into watches, and we used to be part of this one group. I don't know if we're gonna mention whatever, but
there was some other Discord thing.
There's some other Discord, right? And there were some knife guys, for example, and I remember thinking, man, I don't get it. I don't get the knife thing at all. You know what I mean? And then I figured, okay, well, I got 3.5 acres, right, of property, and there are times when I need a knife on me to do something, where it's cut some wire or whatever. And I was like, let me get a proper knife, right? And I think you may have been one of the people.
I think we talked about it way back. Yes.
Yeah, and so I started getting one, and I'm like, whoa, this is, I kind of like this, and then so I started getting in the knives a little bit. At the same time, I stumbled. Well, I was watching your channel, but I also stumbled along. What's the man? I'm drawing a blank. The guy who was from Michigan and went to California, knife guy with the funny voice.
Nick Shabazz.
Nick Shabazz, yeah. And I saw a review on an Omega that he did. Had, and I was like, okay, well, this guy's a watch channel. And then he started doing knives, or he was always doing knives, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, what did I stumble on here, right? And so I started watching him. I started watching you, Metal Complex, a couple of other guys, and I really started getting into it. Started picking up knives. I picked up a Hinder. I picked up a Chris Reeve. I picked up a bunch of things. I had a couple of subscribers to my channel who are really generous guys who send me watches to do all these giveaways, and I have one today for you guys and for whoever's on the chat.
Yep, perfect.
And he sent me a bunch of knives because he was into knives too. So at one point, man, I had like 30 or 40 knives, and I just didn't know what to do with it. My wife was kind of like freaking out a little bit, and
I get the eye roll all the time from my girlfriend.
Yeah. And so like, I'm into watches primarily. The watches that I'm interested in are at a price point sometimes where just like buying them willy-nilly is not an option. But buying a $200 or $300 or $400 knife to give me that that fix, right? You know what I mean? Like works. Now, look, I know there's knives that are super up there, cost more than most watches would ever cost. I get that, and luckily at this point I'm not there yet because I don't know what.
Don't go there. Don't go there. You're already into watches that are pricey watches, which is great. As am I. Alex hasn't got that far yet, but we're trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a knife and a watch for every price point. There really is.
Absolutely.
You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a watch or a knife to enjoy it, to play, to be part of the community or anything like that.
Yeah, and talking about community, like that other group that we were once
Mhm.
members of, they had a subgroup of knife guys who were also into watches, but
Right.
primarily knife guys like yourself and a few others. And I
Mhm.
really enjoyed that interaction that I had with you guys, much more than the watch stuff in that group,
Right.
because you guys were very serious about knives, and the wealth of knowledge was there. And I knew at any time, Dirk, that I can send you a message and pick your brain about something and get an honest opinion. I mean, you were doing it with your reviews, but like
Yep.
I got the extra. I feel like I got the extra
Mhm.
information from you. You know what I mean? The advice, which I enjoyed. But yeah, so like I think I'm down to like maybe like close to 20 knives. My brother-in-law is into knives now, so we're talking about knives. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that I'm going on a, I smell a spending spree going on here, but I would like to get like a Hinderer back. I would like to get a Chris Reeve back. I like those, the Hinderer, the XM 18 and a half. I really like that one. I think that's what it is.
Mhm.
And I want to get a Tonto blade and cozy.
Okay.
Chris Reeve, one
That's
day.
great.
I had a small Sabenza 21, and I just like a bigger blade. You know what I mean? So like I
Yeah.
think I gotta go 31 at least. But yeah, knives, man.
It's fun for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't go wrong. Really, again, it's all about the community, and I think that the knife community, as I was really into knives, I started with knives, and then I met some guys that were also into watches.
Mm,
And then the more I started talking to knife people, the more they started to be into watches also.
yeah.
Or maybe not totally into collecting watches, but they all had like a nice watch that they liked because of that mechanical aspect and things like that. So there's a lot of crossover between knife collecting and watch collecting
Hmm. Agreed.
I
Yeah,
for
even
sure.
took an entire almost year off buying knives when I first originally submersed myself with watches.
yeah.
And I think
Hmm.
that was pretty fun because they're both kind of similar in the aspect. It's like any other like kind of those hobbies where something mechanical that really
Mm,
you can appreciate out of it and things like that. I was like 10 years into knife collecting, and then or and then I got into like watches a little bit.
yeah,
I've always had like a couple Tissot's because that's
yeah.
my last name.
Oh,
Right.
Uh,
that's awesome.
yeah, and so I always had like like a $500 or $800 watch, and I always had like a Timex, and I always
Yeah.
had like a G-Shock, and that was about it. Maybe like 4 or 5 watches, but then one day I think me and Dirk traded a knife for a watch. It was a Seiko Arnie, which I
Yep.
still have, and I'm like, damn, I'm kind of liking this other aspect of having a couple more watches. And then I ran into like the Casio modders, and then I
Mm,
ran into like the Seiko guys, and
hmm.
then
Yep.
I started getting into like some of the Swiss stuff, and like my money was just getting preoccupied with watches. I went from like 4 or 5 watches, I think like about a year and something later, I have like 72 watches now.
Yeah.
And nothing expensive, like no Omegas or Rolex, but maybe like I have like a box of like Swiss watches, which are like Tissot's,
Yeah.
like a Zodiac Super
Oh
Seawolf.
yeah, you're a collector, man.
I
You're
like
a,
Yes.
like
you're a
stuff,
legitimate collector. Yeah.
but I just can't. I'm not like you guys said. I'm not into that high end of a realm yet, where I'm doing Rolex or any of that stuff. But
Give it
maybe
time.
one
Give
later.
it time.
Give
But
it time.
even with knives, like Dirk's got some extremely expensive high-end customs. I have some high-end customs, but nowhere near that level.
I'm
I just
dumb.
have a
Don't
lot
don't
more of
don't follow me.
So for me, like I like I don't like to go low tier, but I like to go mid tier and just have
Mm.
more stuff.
Oh
That's just
yeah. Yeah,
uh,
there's mid tier, and Alicord, I live in New Jersey. Mid tier is I think where it's at, in most cases. There are so many great watches mid tier. Now, we might have a different definition of what mid tier is,
Yeah.
But when I think of mid-tier, I think of like the price range, right? I go with the price range first, not just because it weeds out a lot of things, right? That's
Mhm.
the
Well,
only
to
reason why I
you,
bring a price.
to the watch people, I'm a low tier. I'm a low
Okay.
tier. 1800 to like $5,000 is like budget, right?
No, to me that's mid-tier. To me that's mid-tier. I was gonna I say to me I feel mid-tier is like 2 to 5. That's where I go to mid-tier because you can still get some amazing Omega, right? Just a lot of brands there. There's Omega. There's some Longines, right? Because Longines also gets a little bit more affordable, a little bit higher up there. Zinn, if you like the German
Yep.
watches, and Damasco and some of those, and a plethora of other watches that are right in there, and you can make a good collection there, and if you're not opposed to getting something pre-owned, you'll see some of these little high-end watches come and take a dip down to that pre mid-tier price range for sure.
Yes.
If you're hunting, if you're watching for that, so I'm good with that. I'm good with that range. Look, I get tempted by the higher range stuff all the time. There's some amazing brands doing some amazing things, but realistically, with my lifestyle right now, with a couple kids paying for school, we got a mortgage, we're doing some changes in the house, all that kind of stuff. Like I can't live right there, and that I can't go high end stuff right now at the moment, and that's fine because eventually I will, But I mean, I love that mid tier. This
Mhm.
watch I have right here. This is a Seiko, a new one that came out recently, SPB 381, and it's a MM200
Okay.
case it's slightly thicker, but with a GMT and a diver. Beautiful green dial. I mean, this watch MSRP's for 1,500. If you get 10-20% off, even better. And this is a really high quality piece. This is a piece that, I mean, people will talk about the movement and how they're not crazy about it. But I consider this like borderline mid tier material with at an affordable price. So
Agreed.
Yeah, and I agree. I had a lot of fun. Even like I have a Longines VHP, not a very expensive watch. I think it was like $1,200, and super super accurate, super accurate, up there with like a Grand Seiko movement.
yeah,
So
Grand
yeah,
Seiko. I have
speaking
a
of
Grand
which,
Seiko.
somebody's
Speaking of Grand Seiko,
very nice. That's
it's for
the Quartz
sale
GMT.
because
Yeah,
I'm over it.
yeah.
Not in a bad way, but yeah, this is the 9F Quartz GMT. SNBG
Oh yeah,
003.
those reference numbers, man.
It just rolls right off the freaking tongue because Jesus God, that's stupid.
yeah, yeah.
But it's 39 millimeter, and it's
Mm,
just a little.
little small.
It's a little small for
Yeah.
me.
Hmm.
I just don't wear it often, so I'm just gonna let that one go. If
Yeah,
anybody's interested or anybody knows of anybody, let me know.
yeah.
But today I was wearing the Planet Ocean Deep
Great
Black
watch. That's an
at
awesome
45 and a half millimeter
watch. Yeah.
GMT also.
That's those Planet Oceans. I like the older ones only because I could wear them. I love the big ones too. I mean that is just a little bit. It's not necessarily the case diameter. It's the thickness usually on those Planet
It
Oceans.
is pretty thick.
Yeah,
It's gonna be hard to show, but it is thick.
yeah.
But this particular one is ceramic,
Oh,
so it
perfect.
it
Yeah,
wears really light
yeah. It looks so good.
and small. Even though it's 45 and a half, I didn't think it was 45 and a half when I
Oh,
bought it.
okay.
I had to like I saw the box or something. I'm like 45 and a half. There's no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 45 and a half.
Okay. So it wears smaller than.
It wears much smaller. It wears just like my 43 and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really. And it's just great.
what did you have on your wrist, Bobby?
Well, I have the
Seiko?
Seiko. I usually when I do the extremes, I usually just take them off, and it's just easier to go like this than go
Right.
like that. But sometimes, no, this was a recent pickup, and this it's thick. I mean, it's 13 and a half because it's got
Mhm.
that GMT module on it. But I put it on this this waffle OEM strap that I had laying around for Seiko, and it just wears so nice, and I love the green of the green dial, sunburst green dial, and the green aluminum bezel on it. Just super nice. It's not a true GMT, but who cares, man? I mean, like,
Oh,
um,
it's out of
I
here.
know
Then.
people make a big deal about that, but and look, I've had watches that were true GMTs, and it's nice, right? It's a nice feature, but whatever. It's a Seiko. It's a Seiko. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Alex has the SKX GMT, whatever
Oh yeah, the
model
Seiko
number
5.
that is. The
Yeah.
Seiko 5, the orange dial, right, Alex?
Yeah, I got the orange dial.
Great watch.
Which
Yeah,
is great.
It's
Yeah.
a fantastic watch. I know
Yeah.
it's the color GMT, but
Yeah.
I think it works great, and I have a real GMT or Traveler's GMT
Yeah. Yeah.
as well. And if I don't know if I can say that I really can tell a huge difference between the utility, but then again, I'm not much of a traveler, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. How many of us are actually traveling
Yeah.
and need to jump the hour? Like,
Well, that's the thing. Look, I mean, I'm not. This is to me primarily a dive watch that has the extra feature of a GMT. I'm not. I mean, I'll take this watch because I like it. I'm going away in a week and a half, few weeks, so I'll take
Okay.
it because it's new and I like it.
Yeah.
But if I want like a real travel watch, like I'm getting something that's super light, that's incognito. I used to have like the Zin 856 UTC. I don't have it
Okay.
anymore, but my wife has it, and that watch is so under the radar, right? Nobody's gonna look at, like, I'm not gonna wear a Pepsi when I'm going out. I don't have one anyway. But if I was traveling somewhere, I'm not gonna wear a Pepsi. I mean, that's I'm not gonna travel with that piece. You know what I mean? I'm gonna travel with something. I'm either gonna go with a G-Shock, right, which I
Yep.
love, or I'm gonna go with something that's very incognito as a travel watch. The Pepsis of the world and these high-end travel pieces, GMTs, they're great to have, and I would definitely buy them if I had the money, but I wouldn't take them anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I want something. I don't want to be a target when I travel.
That's kind of what I like about my Rolex Air King is it by nature is a little under the radar.
Yeah.
So it wears just kind of, it's just under there.
Yep.
It's just like, so I do travel with that one. I mean, at the end of the day, I wear the Air King and I wear this Planet Ocean. Those are really the two that I rotate through most of the time. So right now, the only other one I'm going to get rid of at this time is the Grand Seiko. But there are others I've looked in the watch box and been like, why am I holding on to some of these?
Well, we know Alex has like 70-something watches. How what are you down to now, Dirk?
Mm-hmm.
I'm under 20.
Yeah.
Watches, and I'm under 100 knives. I think I'm at like 79, 70, like 75-ish knives, give or take a few. I haven't really counted lately, but it's in that 75 to 80 range in knives.
Yeah.
And probably including a couple G-Shock and maybe a fashion watch from many moons ago and stuff like that. Like under 20?
Yeah.
17 to 20 watches.
Yeah.
Detroit has a good comment up here. Well, one who what asshole would wear a Pepsi when traveling?
I saw that.
Yeah, we all know who that would be. He talks about Seiko. He goes, you could have just 100% Seikos and have a great collection.
True.
Like you really could, because there's such a variety.
Yeah.
They have dive watches. They have GMT watches. They've got dress watches in the Persage line. Like you could just only collect quote unquote affordable Seiko.
An amazing vintage catalog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I love about Seiko, even though I don't know that I have any more right now. But I was much like Alex. I bought a whole bunch of them when I first got into watches. It's kind of like the gateway watch, I think.
It totally is.
Just like Benchmade, Spyderco are in the knife world, they're kind of gateways. I started with Spyderco and Benchmade, and then I sold those and traded those and moved my way up, and now I'm just kind of out there and dumb. So, but I was carrying today a $65 knife.
Yeah.
This is the Orion Knives Cetus. As I'm over there working on a new house and whatnot, this, like, if I break it, well.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if I'm doing something I shouldn't do, like I just recently did with a $3,000 plus RJ Martin custom, yeah, you know, stuff happens. Oopsies, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll learn me. Now I just take this over to the new house.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna overwhelm you guys all with what I was wearing today.
Okay.
Just a little AE 12 or 1300 actually that I modded.
Okay, yeah.
So this one's got a sapphire crystal on it with
Okay.
a case and some Vario straps. I did kind of like a two-tone. It's harder to see in this light, but there's red accents, so it's like a dual color screen.
Okay.
Really comes bright in the light.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the case is by Cranio Design on Instagram, and he does a really, really great job with these things. So yeah, that's what I was wearing today. A $25 watch. Maybe now it's like a, I don't know, like $300 watch with the little parts. But...
Right.
Yeah.
and you just did a video on the SKX mod for that same watch.
Yeah, I did. I actually took it down because I did editing. Oopsie.
What?
Yeah. But I actually have it right here. This one.
So it's
So
a
that's
stainless steel case, stainless steel bracelet, stainless steel bezel.
Yep.
That all came in a kit. Well, the bezel I think you said was separate, but
Yep.
the rest of it all came in a kit.
Yep, and it comes with all the tools too.
Yeah.
And how much is the kit?
$200.
So you can buy your $25, your $20 watch on Amazon. You buy your $200 kit, and you put it all together without breaking anything, and you've got an awesome world timer.
Yep. Although I will say though, if you get this SKX mod thing, which I have extra screws, I haven't done it yet, but I lost actually one of the pins while I was walking around. So
damn.
they're little flathead screw-in ones. So I think that Loctite is a good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, some purple.
Yep.
Is what I use on like some of my links of different watches.
My modding days ended when I started trying to switch out hands, and that requires like a different level of patience that I don't have. Like, sure, changing the bezel, putting a sapphire crystal on something, doing that kind of stuff, I was okay with. I got used to that and did it. But when I started getting hands or doing the hands, like, you really need, first of all, you really need the right tools, right? And if you don't have that, it's very, very hard. And then like trying to obsessively get everything lined up and try to get that date change to happen like at midnight, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. And it's just it's, I just walked away, and then I sold like everything that I had that was modded. I was like, okay, I'm done with that now phase.
I did get into that. I have a few Seiko builds in the works. I already have a movement complete and finished. So I did do the hands. I did a Timascus style. It's actually in here somewhere. Well, it is exactly what you describe. It's very tedious.
Yeah.
I'm farsighted in both of my eyes. So, it was like I got the little jeweler's thing and all that. But even then, that didn't help me. I actually had to put my cell phone and zoom it to be able to like see it clearly. And setting the hands was a pain in the butt. But I actually have to say that installing a date wheel was even harder.
Yeah.
I exploded a movement or two doing that.
Not for me. I stopped at the hands. Yeah, I stopped at the hands, and now and to me the next logical step was to change the date, do a date wheel change. Because I think when you're modding the SKX and you put in, let's say you put in a 4R movement, right? The NH35, you have to change the date wheel. You have to take the date wheel out of the SKX movement and put it in the date wheel, switch out the date wheels, and so that was going to be the next thing. And then I just like saw some videos, and I already had an issue with the hands, and I was like, you know what? I think that's it. I think I'm good.
My modding days never even started.
It's a battle, man. Like I felt like grabbing everything and vaporizing it. But
yeah, I never even tried. I got a DIY watch kit. You know, there's a company, DIY Watches, I think it is. Yeah. I won one of those in that FTG group. But I never even, I mean, I've opened it, I've looked at it. It looked way too complicated for me. And I've worked on race cars and off-road buggies and all of that. Like full-size things, I got really no problem with.
Yeah.
Little tiny miniature things, you got to have a loop and you're trying to do that. No, that's just not going to work for me. So I have a DIY watch kit too, if anybody's interested.
It's really about like, I think the hardest part of the whole thing is having a steady hand. Like having that steady hand where like, and the patience not to push too hard when you're setting your hands, and or else you'll bend them upwards, right? Like all these little things. And I think you actually have to go through all of that before you get good at it. And I'm nowhere near good at it. I've done 2. But I've also, the first 2 I took apart. Now I keep as spare little gears and things for other Seiko movements, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I purely wanted to change the date wheel because I had like this Seiko Willard that I was going to build. It's a Namiko Mods kit, and I bought the movement, and then I bought like the Timascus dial from I think Malaysia or somewhere like that. And everything had to match the blue loom, you know. And so the date wheel was the next thing that I had to change to make sure it all matched. And boy, I had no idea what I was getting into. I saw a couple guys doing it within like 10, 15 minutes on YouTube. I'm like, why not? You know? And
YouTube makes everything look easy.
I didn't buy everything top tier, but I bought some really good tools of all of the stuff you really need, like the hand setting tools and stuff like that. And then like some of the other stuff like crystal press and things like that. Maybe I bought something decent level, but not like, you know, anything from Germany or anything like that, you know. So
do you guys ever check out there's a great channel of Wristwatch Revival? I think that's the name of it. Yeah, he is
the guy who restores the rusty ones, right? Like
he goes on eBay, picks up pieces, and just like puts it. And subscribers and people send him watches all the time. But he's amazing. He's not a watchmaker by trade. Like he didn't have any schooling, but he was a guy who liked to tinker with stuff, right? And cars being one of the things. And then he got into doing that with watches, and his channel. I mean, now I think, man, he might have close to, several 100,000 subscribers. Maybe it might be even more than that. It might be close to 1 million. And the guy is just amazing, really awesome guy. He's based out of Seattle or the Northwest, and he actually appeared on an episode of Watch Crunch a couple of weeks ago. If you guys want to check him out, but that guy is so cool. The episodes are usually around a half hour long. I watch it at 1.5 times speed, right? Like, you know, it's the kind of stuff I put on at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, but not because I want to be bored. It's just calming and relaxing to watch him work. And the guy is not trained, you know what I mean? He trained himself, you know, and
by watching YouTube.
But I think by watching YouTube, and I think just like tinkering, right? You know,
tinkering around. Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
So we do have a comment here from Leland Phil, who might, I don't know, we're just going to throw it out there if anybody can help. He has a Citizen watch that's been long since discontinued. It's missing 3 screws to attach it to the base. Not exactly sure what that means. Making it not wearable. Anyone know where he could tap it for screws that are buyable?
You mean the case back?
Citizen doesn't have the screws anymore, and he's been looking for 6 years or something. So...
yeah, he might be talking about the case back, maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe the case back.
Leland, I don't know, man. I would just try to find something that maybe is similar. You may have to like mod it or bring it to actually like a watchmaker and see what they, it depends. Like, is it worth it to you to do it? I don't know what kind of Citizen is.
The strap screws to the bottom of the watch, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I'm not familiar with that. It's a vintage discontinued one.
Yeah.
I think his best bet is to try to keep an eye on eBay and see if you could find a broken one for cheap and extract the part.
There you go.
Maybe. I mean, that doesn't hurt to look, for sure.
Use it for
eBay's
parts,
great
sure.
for parts stuff.
Yeah. That's.
But yeah, maybe somebody watches the replay later might have some more Citizen experience or something, maybe two. Who knows? We put it out there.
Another great brand.
Awesome brand. Love Citizen.
It is. All right. So what do we got to give away? Because I know, Bobby's got to leave at about 10 minutes at the top of the hour because he has his own live stream. So we're very grateful for him coming on ours because he has his own that starts at the top of the hour. So let's just take a look at what he's got here.
We got
I can make a big screen.
Timex. Iron Man. And
that brings me back to my childhood.
Yeah, it's a collaboration with Huckberry, but it's a really nice version of the Iron Man. Just a great watch. Timex Iron Man, like, and when you start looking, if I'm probably the 80s, right? So like it was like G-Shocks when G-Shocks were a thing. Swatch, Timex Iron Man, just great pieces. And I want to give it away to look. Just before I say anything more, I am blessed, right? And I don't really use that term a lot, but I am blessed with some great guys and gals who subscribe and who support my channel, and people just send me watches to do giveaways, and that's why like on a monthly basis I give away a watch. I have so many watches to give away. I'm set for like the next year with giveaways, and I've started doing them on my live streams actually.
You need to tell your subscribers to start subscribing to my channel.
That's right, and like you have to be a subscriber to Dirk and Alex's channel here to win this. But recently I discovered that StreamYard has a giveaway functionality.
Yeah,
and,
do you know how to use it?
Yeah. So if you open up another screen, it's StreamYard.com/giveaway. And that'll take
you got to open a different one. Okay.
Yeah. I would just open up a different one. Because it's not in the studio. And then when we get there, I'll show you how to do it. It's really good.
If I could spell, that would probably help, actually.
Yeah. Because I was doing giveaways on stream. I was doing like trivia, and I had to come up with a trivia question. Man, I'm just trying to do the least amount of work as possible.
No, because I've heard of this, but I haven't been able to actually use it. So I was hoping that you would know how. And let me just bring it up here on the screen so everybody sees what it is. What the hell? Okay. So giveaway tool.
Yep. So now choose the current broadcast that we're in right now, right?
Okay.
There you go. And so we can create a hashtag. We could do hashtag, Timex, right? And so
now everybody has to type that in.
Yeah, you got to hit start collecting comments, right? So click on that. And
but I got to let people type that in first.
No, that's how you do it. You do it. Okay. And so now, everybody can do hashtag Timex, and then we'll see that entries number people do it. And then when you're ready to draw, you draw. So we could still chat and
there you go, guys. So
that's pretty cool.
Start doing that. Wilson, quick with the fingers. Look at that, Wilson, my boy.
Yeah, Wilson.
He wants that Timex.
Wilson's a great guy. He's also another friend and supporter of the Bobby Likes Those Watches channel, and he's also an admin on the live streams, and he's just a great guy to know, as you know, Dirk.
He is a good guy. We met in person. He's out in the Michigan area.
Yeah,
and good friend. We chat all the time. Him, Detroit, Craig G.
Craig's all great. Yeah,
kind of my boys there.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw David. Is it David on the chat? David Williams.
David Williams is
also
there.
He was
he's a good guy too.
Yep.
Oh, look at that, Wilson feeling the love.
Yeah. He's the man. He's like the smoothest talker there is, man. Like, the guy went from like barely collecting watches a couple of years ago, and now he's like Mr. Rolex. You know what I mean? He's just like smooth talks
He he let me
everybody.
wear his Sea Dweller 43. He
Mm,
let me wear his root beer.
yeah.
So yeah, he's just been really great. Now he hasn't lent them to me, but when we've been together, we've kind of switched watches. I get to wear his root beer for like I don't know a whole day and a half last time we were together. So it was great.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Let's
got a
see. The
question.
question here.
Yep.
What do you think of fossil watches, Bobby?
Hey, like when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, that's the watch I would buy. I always liked having a watch, and to me, like Fossil, it was like I never knew anything about all the other watches. Like
Right.
like I knew about like Rolex and Tag because Tag Heuer was everywhere in the late
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s, right? At marketing, it was brilliant. But other than that, like I really didn't know much. And like you go to like Macy's and whatnot, and
hmm
buy a Fossil watch, and that's what
Yep.
you did. And they're great watches.
My Super Seawolf is actually made by the Fossil Group, and
Hmm.
I like it. It's very nice.
So Alice wants to know if you like paracord stuff because she does paracord stuff. She makes keychains and all kinds of stuff. So she would
Yeah,
love to send you some stuff.
that
To
that
go
that'd be
with. So
that'd be great, Alice, for sure. And then
you
plug your
can find
channel.
him over on Instagram.
Yep.
Bobby Legs loves watches, and you guys can chat it up. You can slide in his DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
It's
Just don't tell your husband or your wife.
Silly.
No, she's pretty cool. She's got a
Yeah.
couple of my knives right now. She's sent in some like little zipper pulls, some different things for some
Oh,
giveaways
yeah.
I've done. I sent her some knives to do some giveaways. She's pretty active in the EDC world and holds like little meetups and stuff. So
Well, that's another thing I wanted to. I mean, like so like going down the knife rabbit hole, I started getting into like more EDC stuff, and really appreciating that kind of stuff. I kind of took it for granted. Like if I
Mhm.
wanted like a pry tool, I just go to Amazon and get a pry. Flashlight. Like I didn't think, just flashlight. You just go to Lowe's and get a flash. And like and going down that rabbit hole, man, there's some people who are serious about flashlights, man.
Oh, good Lord. Oh my
But
God.
but I get it.
It's
I
a
get
torch. When you get to those prices, it's a torch.
it. Yeah, torch.
Dude, I've
Uh.
seen some like $7,000 lights.
Insane. But I'm sure
I
they're worth it.
did buy one that was kind of pricey for me.
Yeah.
It was $700. That's the
Yeah.
most expensive light that I have. It was a collaboration with Begg Knives and Deadwood Customs. I bought it mainly because Mark Begg called me from Blade Show, called me on my cell and said, "Hey, I got one more light I'm holding for you. I'm going to bring it back with me from Blade Show a couple of years ago, and I'll give it to you next time I see you." And I'm like, okay. So I bought one.
Nice.
$700 later, but it's a cool light.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's cool, but I tried to stay away from lights.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to stay away from that genre of the EDC world because that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got one of Jiro's lights. I think like close. It's like close to $1,000 or something like that.
Which one did he send you?
Do
you remember?
I can't remember. I think this is it right here, actually.
I mean, there's some lights that are great. I have a bunch of Olights. Is that a
Nice.
Hold on,
It's this guy.
Yeah, Hanko Machine Works. The thread. So what's crazy about those lights is the machining and the threading. The threads on that are just like
they're like butter.
Like it's just wow.
Yep. It's very, very
they're incredible. So that's at least $1,000. That's $1,000-ish.
Yep.
And that's the size of
too.
my Begg knife, or Begg light. That's just a little bit big for me to carry. I used to carry those a lot, but now I'm kind of gone to some smaller footprint lights. What is your Instagram?
I just put it up.
You just put it up. Okay.
Yeah, and for the winner, that's the I know it's long. It's stupid, but the name is stupid. The name I couldn't when I started the channel.
I just couldn't.
I just couldn't. It should be on my underneath my my face over here.
Oh, there. He changed his thing. So is that Bobby Legs _loves _watches?
Yeah.
Because it just rolls right off the tongue. Because Bobby Legs wasn't good enough.
How about Bobby watches loves legs?
Sure.
Loves
But,
what?
you know, I'm just like stuck with this now. I'm stuck with a name that I came up with in like the last second.
Yeah,
right?
but you're all fancy pants because you've got a mug, you got a t-shirt. Look at that. He got a friggin' t-shirt. I don't even have a logo. I'm just Dirk Martin. I couldn't even come up with a name. I just used my name. That's like at least you came up with something. I just used my name because I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah. Well, I think
so we've got about 13 entries in the giveaway. We'll give it another like minute because I want to do it before Bobby leaves. Just because, you know, Detroit wants one of the t-shirts.
So the t-shirt my wife got for me one Father's Day.
It's a one-off.
It's a one-off. Yeah,
it's a one-off custom. So you know what the price is going to be, Detroit. Like I don't know if you can afford the one-off custom t-shirt price.
Yeah.
Inflation.
Yeah. Right. But you know the t-shirt.
Aaron's EDC says he needs to make a shirt. I need to make a logo before I can make a shirt. We need a logo for this channel too, which we haven't done yet. We at least came up with a name. Here.
Yeah. Got the name. You need like little caricatures of your heads next to like EDC hour. You know.
I just need to go to like some AI thing and come up with something there.
You could do that, or just go to the boardwalk and get like a character of like your faces.
All right, so let's see if I can add this back to the stream here. All right, let's just pick a winner.
Let's do it.
See how this works.
All right.
That's actually pretty cool. All right. Well, it doesn't fix your citizen screw problem, but it gets you a new Timex Ironman.
Awesome.
Awesome. Leland, my my Instagram is Bobby Legs _loves _watches. Send me a message.
Yep.
And I'll send you to watch it. You better make sure that you're a subscriber for the EDC hour with Dirk and Alex. You better make sure.
Yeah, if you're not, go subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Alex's channel, and then go give Bobby a subscribe. But, you know, if you're not going to watch anything, don't subscribe. Honestly. The subscription number is a silly, arbitrary number once you hit 1,000.
Yeah.
Because once you hit 1,000, you can monetize. Okay, great.
Yeah.
After that, it's all just big content. Like, it's just an ego thing.
Yeah.
Really. Like, seriously, don't subscribe to me. Just go watch my videos.
Yeah. Views is where it's at, right?
The views is where it's at. I mean, the number is just kind of silly. Although I do want to beat a therapeutic edge, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Let me, I think Leland wants my email. Don't worry. I have a Bobby Legs email address.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Not everybody does the social media stuff.
There you go, Leland. It's sending it through, so hopefully you'll see it too.
So there you go, Leland. It's Bobby Legs 1791 at the Gmail.
Now that doesn't mean that there were 1,790 other Bobby Legs. It's 1791 is the year that one of my favorite watch brands, Gerard Perregaux, started. So that's why it's 1791.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
You know, there's subliminal messages.
Logo slips in some little Easter eggs here and there.
There you go.
My God.
I dig it.
I love it. All right, Bobby. Well, thank you very much for coming.
This is awesome.
We appreciated it. And thank you for giving away the watch. That was super unexpected and greatly appreciated. Thank you.
No, a lot of fun. Alex, Dirk, thank you for having me on. Love to come back on.
We will have you again. Go do your other live stream. Everybody can hang on for a few minutes. Alex and I will wrap it up. And have a good show, Bobby.
All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye now.
What a fun guy, man. He's a fun guy.
Just a good guy. He's a genuine good guy in it for the community. He's not one of these hype guys that's all about him and join my channels and all these things. Like he's just a good guy.
He's a watch lover.
He's a watch lover. He's a knife extremely liker. I don't know if he's a knife lover yet, but he's a liker. And he's just a good guy. He just wants to give back to the community and just, he's good people.
I like his channel.
He's just good people.
That dude.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed a little look into side of him. Like I said, he mostly does watch content, and he does like a couple of live streams a week. So, and he does one with a couple other people, Watch Soup. He just does a lot of different stuff. So, and raises a couple kids and works at home. Like, he's a busy guy.
Yep.
As am I.
That was cool, though. We finally got him on.
Yeah, no, it's been a little bit but life happens. Like I said, we've had to change our schedule a little bit here and there. We may have to change it a little more as I'm moving. Just one weekend, we'll have to plan the move around. Like life happens, but that's just what we do.
Let's do before we start wrapping up.
Thanks,
and take
Dave.
off. I saw that.
I guess.
Let's show what blades we were carrying today, because I know there's some knife peeps here too.
Yeah, so I had the Orion knives Cetus as I was over there working on the new house. Yeah, that's the main thing I had today. What did you have?
Well, I just got this back from Jim Skelton.
Oh, I saw a picture of that today, and I meant to ask you if that was a recycled picture or if that was a live picture because you got it back from Jim.
I got it back from Jim. For those of you who haven't seen a shapeshifter, and I got to be careful because this will slice you, but here's how it works.
And I think Jim did a great job on his video also.
I think that was one of the better videos I've seen him do. He did a really good job representing like what the knife's about, and wasn't too long. It was perfect.
No, it was shorter than I had anticipated, actually. And I think he did, and I did talk to him a little bit about it while I was watching it. Yeah, that was one of the better videos I think he's done. Absolutely.
Yep. He did a really outstanding job. But yeah,
and I like Jim, and I like most of his videos, so that doesn't take anything away from his other videos. But I think he just did a perfect job on that one. Almost makes me want to take mine down because it doesn't even measure up.
Well, mine wasn't even as good as yours. Mine was just a quick intro video, but what I think was really good about this video compared to some of the other ones he did was the fact that he put in so much information condensed, but didn't overdo it. Like it wasn't like, holy shit, this thing's an hour and 20-minute type video. Like it was condensed just right, but he didn't miss anything about it. It was just really well done.
Yeah, no, he did a good job. Lux says his French custom build should be shipping out this week. Very cool.
Very cool.
Paul, we're just wrapping up, man. You missed all the good stuff, but welcome. Spyderco Native. What else? What about you guys? Are you guys carrying knives all the time? I mean, a couple people chimed in. And do you guys into watches at all? I mean, you're here watching us talk to a watch guy, so you must kind of like watches.
Yeah.
Trevor Berger Atlas today. That's a cool one.
Knife. Very cool knife. That's his flipper, if I remember.
As Luck is there setting up his own shop so he can get back to making knives in his new pad and location. It's looking good. Looking very good there, Mike.
Yeah,
that's okay. I'm always running behind too. It seems like these days, Paul. It's all good. You can watch the replay later because we need views afterwards too, guys.
Yeah, don't worry. I've been off social media so much these last couple months. Busy doing some other stuff, some career stuff. So it's all right, man. We have priorities. This is a hobby.
Exactly. Life takes precedence over our hobbies, knives, watches, YouTube, all that, social media. That's all just hobby stuff to um, pass the time. But
Yep.
when life happens, just got to do life.
Yep. Looks like David had a small Sabenza 31 and an Generation 1 Planet Ocean.
The
That's a nice
small
watch.
Sabenza is a little small for me, but I do like the large Sabenza, 21 and 31. And the
Yep.
Inkosi blade is my favorite blade shape that they have. I did have one for quite a while. And the Gen 1 Planet Ocean is great because that one is the 8500 movement, maybe. So it's a little thinner, a little smaller. It works really well.
Yeah. I have a small Sabenza 21, and
As did I in a Tonto.
they are small.
Yeah.
And for me, I have like medium sized hands, so I can imagine it's quite small for you.
Yeah, no, the small with a Tonto blade, because the Tonto blade even makes the blade seem a little smaller on those. Yeah, it's just, but I had a matching 21 small and 21 large with the same micarta inlays and all that, so it was kind of cool. But yeah, yes, Mike, you're right. It's the Insingo blade. The Inkosi is a different model altogether. Yes, the Insingo blade is my favorite blade shape. I would like to get another one just because I let mine go.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
It's just I have a small 21 and a large 21. I think the large 21 was probably one of the first kind of like over $400 knives I ever bought myself. It's 8th edition, and I just have no reason to buy a 31 when you already have a 21. So
here's an interesting question from Paul. Not even a question. He just makes a comment, but we're going to turn it into a question. He's thinking about either buying a Rask from Grimsmo Brothers, or the Holt Haptic, or the Holt Spectre. Out of those three, Alex, what one would you pick?
well, I've never handled a Rask, but I do want to buy one. So for a long, long time, I thought that was always the underrated Grimsmo knife. I don't know why I know why, but the Norseman got more popularity, but I thought the Rask was more of a real knife, in my opinion. The whole haptic is cool, but I think I think a Spectre is better, personally, because it's just a little bit more of a neutral design versus the haptic. So out of the two, whatever you can get a better deal on. I think either of those two choices are going to be, or three really. I mean, the haptic's a nice knife. Whatever you can get a better deal on. How about that?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of those three. But much like you, the haptic I think would be number third choice for me out of these three. I have handled a Rask, and I owned a Spectre for a little bit, and I've done videos on a couple different Spectres. I wished I would have had the Rask and the Spectre at the same time, because I really wanted to compare those. Yeah, that's a tough one. I would say whichever you could get your hands on between the Spectre and the Rask.
Yep.
Happy Haptic says Rask all day. Paracord says Rask.
I think it's a subjective question, because
It's very subjective.
There's going to be people that are going to be Spectre all day, and there's going to be people that are be Rask all
There
day.
it is.
So
they say the Rask secondary has gone down. Okay.
Yeah, now they're like $1,200, $1,000.
And I think the Spectres have gone down too.
Yeah,
like they're in that 1,000-ish range, not 2,000 range.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not a $2,000 knife. No offense to the Holts, but the Spectre's not a $2,000 knife. You can find them cheaper. Don't just spend $1,900. It's just not worth it.
Yep. Yeah, but you can't go wrong. It just really comes down to what you like. Don't listen to like votes or YouTubers.
Agreed.
Go look at videos of people flicking them, handling them.
Yep.
Check the blade steel, and it's going to be the blade shape ultimately that people usually go for, and whichever one you like better. Either knife's going to be great.
Any other knives are going to be great. And like you've just seen in the comments here, we've gotten a dozen different opinions. And that's all they are, is their opinions. Personal opinions. So don't take any one person's opinion to be fact.
Or you could do like me and buy both.
Or just buy both. Just buy one of all three. And then come back in a couple of weeks and tell us which one you liked better after you bought all three.
Yep. But I am planning to get a Rask myself. I already own a Holt Spectre. So I've had it since it was brand new, got it from the Holts, and I still have it. I still don't want to sell it. So there you go.
I agree. Yeah, no, they're all very cool. The Rask is cool. I did like that. And I did own a Spectre for a little bit. I always wanted one. My brother was able to get one on a lotto and sold it to me. And I loved it for a little while until I didn't. And then it was time to let it go. Much like my Grand Seiko. I loved it until now I don't. And now it's ready for anybody out there that would like a Grand Seiko 9F quartz, super accurate, 10 seconds a year, GMT. It's awesome.
I would have bought it if I was ready right now for
a good deal
stuff, because that is a very, very cool watch, and it's my size. I love 39 mil.
It is perfect for you.
Yep.
39 millimeter GMT. It's you'd have to take a link out for you maybe, but
yep,
got the full kit, everything. Brand new battery about a month ago. Batteries last about 3 years. My AD did it for free, no big deal. All right, well, I think that about wraps us up.
I think so too. It's a good place to end.
It is, and thank you all. A lot of comments here today. A lot of people joined, probably because of Bobby Legs, not for us, but hey, that's okay. But no, we appreciate it. Thanks for spending a little time with us this evening. Go finish your weekend and try to have a good week at work. Just try to have a good week, best you can. Thanks, everyone.